The call cut through static, my sister's voice trembling. "Your wife's boyfriend broke your son's arm. He said it was discipline. He told him he'd finish the job when you're dead." Then another sound. My son, crying, weak. "Dad, it hurts. He will kill me. Please save me." The desert wind around me went silent. The firefight beyond the ridge faded into nothing. Behind me, my commander stood frozen, headset pressed to his ear. He had heard everything. His jaw tightened. "Pack your kit," he said. "Black Hawk lifts in 5. I didn't speak. I didn't need to. Inside, rage shifted into something sharper, colder. Discipline, he called it. Breaking bones like twigs? No, he had no idea what discipline really meant. The flight back blurred into fragments. Night sky, rotor wash. My own reflection in the dark window, stone-eyed, lips pressed thin. I replayed my son's voice. Each sob embedded itself deeper, burning like shrapnel I couldn't pull free. The betrayal wasn't the act alone, it was the context. I had left my home to serve, to keep threats oceans away. In my absence, a stranger walked in, slept in my bed, sat at my table, wore the mask of a father to my boy, and my wife allowed it. That was the fracture beneath the break, the wound I couldn't stitch. She had chosen him to fill the void I left, and when he bared his violence, she looked away. The signs had been there, her voice too warm when she said another man's name. The late nights explained with stilted excuses, a silence that sat too heavy at the other end of the line. I told myself I was imagining it. Distance breeds paranoia. Soldiers invent ghosts when the desert gets too quiet. But ghosts don't break bones. Ghosts don't tell a child he belongs in pain. Now I had truth sharper than any suspicion. And truth demands response. I didn't storm into the house. That would have been rage. Rage is sloppy. Instead, I watched. Observed from shadows the way I had learned in places where silence was survival. My son's arm was bound in a cast, clumsy and oversized. He held it close to his chest like a wounded bird. He tried to smile when he saw me, but his eyes betrayed him. Fear flickered there, fear of the man still inside. The boyfriend moved with arrogance, carrying beer bottles like trophies, laughing too loudly at jokes no one made. He didn't see me at first. Men like him rarely notice predators until it's too late. I traced his patterns, where he went, what he spent. I mirrored his phone, watched his conversations. His texts to my wife were explicit. Ownership disguised as affection. "He's weak. I'll make him tough. Don't worry, he won't be a problem much longer." Each word was a nail in the coffin he hadn't realized he'd built for himself. I spoke little to my wife. Her guilt leaked through her eyes, though her mouth tried to shape excuses. I let her speak. I let her believe silence meant forgiveness. But silence was strategy. I wasn't ready to strike until the evidence was complete, because when I hit, there would be no escape. The medical report lay on the kitchen table. X-rays, notes, words underlined by the doctor. Spiral fracture consistent with forceful twisting. Not a fall, not an accident. Intentional. She saw it first. Her hand trembled as she lifted the paper. "He didn't," she began, but her voice cracked under the weight of her own lie. Then he entered, saw the file, smirked. "You're making a big deal out of nothing." I turned to him slowly, my eyes locked on his, steady, unblinking. "You broke my son's arm." He opened his mouth, then shut it. For the first time, doubt flickered across his face. I didn't need to raise my voice. The silence around the words did the work. He looked to her for support, found none. Her eyes were wet, her lips pressed white. The evidence hung in the air, undeniable. And he realized the game had shifted. I set a chair in front of him, sat down, leaned forward, elbows on knees. "You thought you understood discipline," I said quietly. "But discipline isn't pain. Discipline is control, and I've mastered it." He tried to speak, but I raised a hand. The gesture froze him in place. "I know your accounts," I continued. "Your debts, the charges you buried, the warrants waiting across state lines. I know every crack in the facade you built. And now, so does she." His face drained. He looked at my wife. She didn't deny it. I slid a folder across the table. Bank statements, texts, photographs, every lie, every cruelty cataloged with precision. "You're finished," I whispered. He stood, fists clenched. But he didn't strike. He couldn't. My calm suffocated him. Then I leaned back, almost casual. "You'll leave tonight, or the police will have you by morning, and trust me, I've already made the call." The realization broke him more than any punch could. His power evaporated, his arrogance dissolved, and he understood the lesson. Discipline is not rage. Discipline is inevitability. Later, when the house was quiet, I sat beside my son's bed. His breathing was steady now, no tremor of fear beneath it. I touched the cast gently. "It's over," I whispered. He stirred, but did not wake. Upstairs, my wife wept alone. The walls carried her sobs, but they no longer reached me. She had chosen her path. She had invited the wolf into our home. And now she would live with the memory of what it almost cost. I felt no pity, no anger left to burn, only clarity. The mission was complete. The boy was safe. The man was broken. And my silence would haunt her far longer than any words could. Some lessons scar the body, others scar the soul. Tonight, I taught both.